What you are listening to is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in the squared circle. Both parties have agreed to dismiss their cases and have their disputes settled here in our forum, the Turnbuckle Debate.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Turnbuckle Debate. My name is Sneed.
I'm Chad.
I'm Tom, the OG Fit Kid, the staple of the Turnbuckle Debate.
And our guest joining us today, the man who is glad that Eddie Guerrero is dead.
Hey now.
Coming to you from twitch.tv/FREEMZ. FREEMZ, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Make sure you follow me on Twitter because some stuff's about to change, but follow me on Twitch for now.
Check him out on Twitter.
Yeah, get him on Twitter.
An ominous warning from FREEMZ.
Yeah.
Things are about to change.
Things are changing.
Hey, if you like comedy, follow me on Twitter because new stuff's gonna be coming up that's not Twitch related. Because they are a bunch of whiny bitches over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of whiny bitches in the world right now.
Man, you had your mouth in the shape of a P. I wasn't sure where you're going with that one.
I don't either.
Yeah. Well, sweet, man. It's good to have you back. We have, you know how we do it. We have 3 new topics to debate, 10, 15 minutes per topic. We'll let you go first on the second topic. And, man, if you guys are ready, I say we just jump into it.
Let's go.
Do it.
Ready? All right. First topic of the evening. Jade Cargill to WWE. Is this the right move?
For her, probably. I think so, because I think her broader scope is beyond wrestling, and I think she has more opportunities in WWE, which is probably the only reason why I think she actually made the jump. I don't think she wanted to leave AEW, but I think she likes what you go into a big entertainment company that goes beyond wrestling. I think it's going to offer her more opportunities. I don't think she winds up there very long. I think we'll see her doing movies within 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to argue with that. I agree with Tom completely. I would prefer she stay at AEW. I think she's going to get kind of a little bit buried in the mix over there, but I don't know if it's going to get the returns that she wants. She definitely has the ability to do so, but I don't know if it's going to work out for her the way she wants it to. Either way, she's going to get a big paycheck, I'd say.
I don't think it'll turn out the way WWE wants it to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 100% the right move. And maybe I feel like AEW would have liked to have kept her there. But then when I look at the booking of AEW and her, I mean, yeah, they gave her this 60 win streak. She leaves the company 60-2, which is pretty impressive. But I'm not really going to miss her on my Dynamite because she was never really there.
Yeah.
So I don't feel the void of her being gone, but at the same time, I do think obviously the star power she is, I think Tony Khan, whether they were slow burning her or misusing her or whatever, how could you not miss someone going to WWE? But I agree with you guys. I think Jade, I mean, for her, it's way, way more eyes on her when she's in WWE. I think her husband, former baseball player Brandon Phillips, he has that athlete mind where you're always looking for the big payday. You're looking for the next thing to elevate your brand. And, she took that little break from AEW. And as she's on this break, all of these TKO things are coming together. The sell being finalized. She sees money on the table. She wants to go over there, elevate her brand. I do disagree with FREEMZ. I think it's going to be big for her. I don't think they're going to bury her on the mid card or bury her. I think they're going to push her like a legit star. The reason I said it's not going to be what WWE expect is because I think they're seeing someone, man, we could build the she's really like got the star power where they could build the next decade around her. I don't think she's going to be there that long.
Yeah.
I think she maybe is there for, I would be honestly, say we have no idea about her contract status, but say she signed a 3-year deal or a 5-year deal. I don't know if she re-ups. I really don't. I think if Hollywood comes calling, her main thing, she wants to be in Hollywood. I think she could get a 3 to 5 year run in WWE, and it's sayonara, see you later.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think she has the potential to be a huge star. Look at her. Like, picture her in action movies, how good she would be.
I'm not
Storm in X-Men.
Yeah.
I'm not denying her potential, because she definitely has the potential. There's just a lot of that star power over there. No one looks like her.
I don't think anybody has star power on the just eye test it factor of her. I don't think Charlotte has it. I don't think Bianca Belair has it. I think she is like a cut above. If you're just walking, I've been around Jade in person when we went to AEW All Out. I've seen her with my own eyes. When you see her in a hotel or you see her in the airport, she's different, man.
If she's walking beside Bianca Belair, the eyes are going to be on Jade.
100%.
Yeah.
I think she's even more than Ripley. Rhea, when she's done up in her character gear, but Jade is like, she's a different monster when it comes to just it factor to me.
Dude, when I was down in West Virginia last year and I saw her walking the streets, she stood out amongst everybody. It's like, holy shit, who's that? And I knew who she was and I realized it right away, but there's just something about her. But also, don't forget this. She jumps to WWE. She's going to main event a couple of WrestleManias. Like, you could see her main eventing versus Charlotte versus Rhea.
You hope they fast track her.
If they do it right, absolutely. But I wouldn't be shocked at some point after her contract's up, she goes to Hollywood. She's going to go back to AEW and make a couple of appearances and return the favor. You know, I can.
There's a reason Tony Khan played nice in the recent interviews this week, where he's like, I can't comment on the WWE situation, but all I can say is I love Jade. She's always welcome in AEW. So there's something there. And what's weird about this whole thing is literally a week prior to all the news breaking of her leaving, she did an interview where she was like, I'll never work anywhere else. I love Tony Khan. And then all of this hits. So, you know, a little bit of her working the journalist, but I'm with you, Tom.
Is there a chance do we know? Okay, so I haven't been following that much. Do we know for sure? Like, is it confirmed she's going to WWE?
There were pictures of her in the Performance Center from what I think I saw.
I saw pictures of her in the Performance Center,
though,
but they were old from 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There were reports coming out that said she was there.
I did see the reports that her and Randy Orton were both there.
Yeah.
So
Randy Orton outside walking in, and then I saw PW Insider reported that somebody saw her on a flight from Tampa back to Atlanta on Monday afternoon. So
we'll see. I just wonder, what are the odds? Because I mean, AEW obviously not as big as WWE, but it still has a lot of eyes on it. It'd be funny if she's already like booked like a movie or something, and we just don't know about it.
I think where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, I mean, she's moved. She's already been moved to the alumni section on AEW's page too, with CM Punk and.
I love how wrestling fans we're all guilty of this. It's like the removal of the online website roster page thing is such like
it's a big deal.
Man, she's off the roster page. Like that's one of the easiest thing to kayfabe, but we take it as that's the gold standard of if they're there or not.
Like, that is never a work. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
the roster page on the website's never a work, dude.
Oh no, dude, they said.
Now that we're talking about smoke and mirrors shit right now, wouldn't it be hilarious if her contract did end, she didn't renew it immediately, just to get all this fucking news build up on Twitter and everything, and the whole time she was planning on immediately re-signing with AEW, like a week from now? How funny would that be? I don't think that's what's happening.
I
Like, could you
always
imagine?
play, I play those scenarios in the back of my head all the time because they never happen. Like they
Yeah.
never, but I'm always like, what if this happened? But yeah, I think she's WWE bound.
Yeah, I think she is too. And I do think it's the right move. My worry for her is that when she does get in the ring with the Charlottes, and because she has improved a lot, but she's still pretty green in the ring.
I wanted to almost brought
I
that
feel
up.
like her
but
style is more WWE.
Yeah.
There's people in WWE who are right there on her level too. I mean,
But they're gonna have to take her for a longer match because she doesn't have long matches.
yeah,
So she's gonna have a long match.
The last match, her farewell match
Yeah.
in AEW was the best match she ever did with Stat. I mean, that was a really impressive match on Rampage.
don't get me wrong. That AEW or AEW, the WWE Performance Center is quite the machine. Even though it churns out stuff that isn't necessarily like my favorite, like it does produce results.
And it
Especially
locks
from,
you
former
into
athletes.
their style.
That-
Like
yeah.
and I don't think she's far removed from the type of wrestler they want. And I think she's tailor-made. I wouldn't be shocked if WWE takes a similar approach to what AEW was in the beginning. You feed her girls
Yeah.
and she make her look like a big deal while she's hammering it at the PC and build her up and then start throwing her in there with those Charlottes, Baileys, and those people to get her more primed and ready to go. I think the big question right now is not so much is she going. I think she's there. I think she's in WWE. But
Right.
I think it's more of like, do you blast her onto the main roster immediately? Or I would say the way they used to book NXT like a year ago, I would think she can't be there. It's a step back for her. But the fact that they just sent Becky Lynch down there to win the Women's World Championship in NXT, now I'm like, they might put her at the top of the card in NXT, have her beat Becky on NXT. They're wanting NXT to become a third brand, just the way they've got Judgment Day on there and Becky Lynch. So now I'm kind of like, I don't know what they'll do. I don't know if they'll send her if it was me, I would send her right to the main roster immediately.
I would
and
too,
book her like the top of the heap.
But here's the thing: who do you pair her with? Someone to speak for her? Like, I think she'd be great with Heyman, but he's so involved with the bloodline. I don't think it really works right now.
I push back on that shit. I saw all of these people coming out and saying, yeah, but she needs work on the mic. I don't think she does, dude. I thought that was her strength. Like, I thought she was fucking money on the mic. Her personality, I think people that were hating on her mic skills, I never got that because I thought her mic work was solid.
They never let her do long promos, but in the short stuff she did, it was always good. And maybe that's a key. Don't let her speak too much. Leave people wanting more.
She definitely made me believe that she was a heel.
She's a boss ass bitch. I totally bought into it.
That was totally believable. The only thing I didn't like was the cut the shit. The shit she did with Tony. Like that line, sometimes it didn't hit for me.
We will hear cut the shit on AEW television within 10 years. That'll be a big pop moment. Yeah. Tony will be on there and you'll just hear cut the shit. It's like, Jay's back.
It's one of the most fun things about people jumping ship is when they go home, when they go back. Like, right? Like when you see guys like Cody coming back to WWE, look at what it is. But look when, Jade, a homegrown star going back to AEW, it's going to be huge, especially after she's a huge movie star. So
that makes me.
She's not like super young. She's not old, but she's not.
Yeah, she's not.
You expect her to come back to AEW when she's like 40? I mean, it's
no.
How old is she now?
31.
Okay, she's got time to come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. She could do a 5-year deal and come back. Like, just because I still think Cody will be back one day in some form or fashion. Too. Maybe not a wrestler, maybe in the front office, but I do think he will be back one day.
100%.
After all of this is done. I guess my last little thing with this topic to ask you guys is like, you kind of alluded to it, Tom, with talent jumping ship and how, when a talent jumps ship, Does it hurt you a little bit? I mean, everybody be honest. Are you just excited for the change of it all? Do you find yourself leaning towards a company and being like, damn, I wish they were still there? Like, how do you guys react to talent jumping ship, or is it a case-by-case scenario?
I'm such an AEW homer that I hold a grudge about it.
Yes, he does. He gets hot about it.
Yep.
He's still hot at Cody for that shit.
Yeah.
To me, it just depends. Like when Bryan Danielson jumped ship, I always loved him in WWE. I was like, oh man, he's gone. But like, oh yeah, he's in AEW now. You get to see him go play with the guys who know how to wrestle. So I feel it both ways.
Yeah, it's definitely case by case for me. I felt like Cody going to WWE made sense, so it didn't bother me.
Especially seeing how they've done it.
Yeah,
I feel like he's made for that right now for sure.
Yeah. And I guess if it's the other way, jumping ship from WWE to AEW, it just depends on like someone like, oh my god, what the fuck are they going to do over there? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
See, for me with Cody, man, like the thing is we've been there since the very fucking beginning.
Yep.
Since the very, very beginning. And I felt like I took that ride with him the whole time. Then I felt like he turned his back.
I think a lot of fans felt like that. Yeah.
On the movement that he started. I felt
and
like
he was the guy after those early Dynamites, like after the first couple. He was there standing at the guardrail after the show went off the air, talking to all the fans.
Yeah.
Like signing everyone's, like he was there with everyone. So yeah, I get that. I felt a little sting in my heart when he left. I can't lie. With Jade, I think this is an obvious move. I don't care that she's left AEW. I think it's good for her. I love when talent jumps ship. Either way.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Unless it's like my absolute favorite and they're tied up in a big storyline, then I might be a little sour about it. But this is wrestling, man. Like,
yeah,
that's why everyone, I floated a couple memes or something on Instagram about Edge coming to AEW just to stir the pot.
I love it.
And there's so many people that get in the comments and they're like, he's never leaving. He's WWE till he dies. And I'm like, I get that sentiment. Like you're sour about it. But for me, it's just like, it would be such a fresh thing for Edge. Like we've seen all that he can do. What else can he do in WWE? He's done everything.
Yeah.
For his career, like it would just be fun. As a fan, it would be something fresh and new. Just like Jade going to WWE is fresh and new. If Punk arrives in WWE, it's fresh and new. Like I love that shit.
I agree. Like that's one of the best things about WWE having competition. I miss seeing people jump up on the other program not knowing they were going to be there. Now
we didn't have that for 20 years, dude.
Yeah.
20 years we didn't have like that those moments. They were taken from us. Now we have moments like that.
We know about it before it happens. And that's why to me the Malachi Black one, like that was my favorite jump because we had no clue that night.
No clue.
There. And to me, that's like the biggest jump we've had in a long time, just to be shocked, to be like Lex Luger showing up on that Nitro.
That's what I was going to say, dude. It took me back to the Mall of America, Luger walking out in the puffy white shirt, and everyone like, this shouldn't be happening. He's on WWF. Yeah. Like it felt exactly like that.
Yeah. It makes me wish we didn't have we didn't have as much information as we do, so we could get surprised a little bit more. But
I agree.
But that's what makes it now. I agree. It would be nice to live in a bubble where we don't get that. But when they can do it without you even catching a sniff of it, it makes it all the more impressive because you think you know everything that's going to happen ahead of time. Yeah. That when like Adam Cole comes out or something like that, you kind of know it's going to happen, but with Malachi, we had no idea.
You legit get excited when you know. Even when Cody showed up at Mania, it's like, oh my god, he's here. But when Malachi showed up on Dynamite, I jumped off my couch because I was in total fucking shock.
It's like FTR when they showed up.
Oh yeah, in the truck. Yeah. They pull up in the truck at Dynamite. I was like, we came off the couch.
Yeah, Sting
was a big one.
Yep. Came on the couch.
Yeah, all over the couch. Had to get it dry cleaned.
Had to get it. Turn those cushions upside down.
So it was a big moment.
It was a big mess.
Yeah. Who is someone in AEW right now that you would be like, man, they'd probably be better off over at WWE? Is there someone that comes to your mind? Because
honestly, Jade was probably number one.
No, not for me. I don't give
No?
a fuck about Jade. I don't watch women's wrestling.
The two that always popped in my mind, the two that always popped in my mind as WWE is going to go after them, and if they go after them, they could make them into big stars. It was always Jade and Wardlow for me.
Wardlow is mine, and I wish Scott Blue could go to WWE in 2002.
The bra and panty matches. You sick fuck.
Yeah, here we go.
Listen,
All right, guys.
but wonder.
She has a lot of Sims I learned from posting what I did on her picture on Instagram because
They're out there. The White Knights. The White Knights are out there to defend her honor.
Why do you talk like an anime villain, you fucking nerd?
It's like, dude, she puts these pictures out there. She wants, come on.
Yeah.
It's not like they're leaked from her phone. Come on.
Oh, fucking props to her, man. You gotta flaunt it.
Yeah.
That's your moneymaker. This is a body business, and she's got it.
I tried to get a raise at work, and they're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because Scott Blue has a Patreon." And
I gotta sign up for it.
Yeah, just give me enough to work and make like 10 extra bucks a month. So I can
All right, guys. Anybody have any final thoughts on Jade before we move on?
I hope they push her to the moon, man.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jade. When I met her at All Out, the Fan Fest, I thought she was a sweetheart. But it seems like she's got a one-track mind. I think she's going to Hollywood.
Yeah, I agree. My last question was going to be with the way they've booked Wardlow the last couple of years. When his contract is up, I wonder if he's the next to jump ship.
I'm wondering, man. Because a report came out where they said one of their bigger stars had a some sort of bad injury, and no one knew that it was going on. And I wonder if they've kept it quiet. And I also wonder if where MJF is the champ right now, if they're kind of trying to keep him off TV because he squashed MJF. So like booking wise, how do you have them there without throwing him? I don't know.
Weirdly enough, it would be kind of cool to see Wardlow come back to be the one to take the belt from MJF, maybe down the road.
Yeah.
As the person who just destroyed him,
Yeah,
they handled him. That TNT run with him, the flip flopping with Wardlow,
god awful.
He needs to come back in a big way.
Yeah,
100%.
All right, guys, we'll move on. Second topic of the evening. Is it time for Matt Cardona to sign with a major promotion? Now, FREEMZ, this was the topic that we gave for you. So if you we'll defer to you to go first on this one.
I don't think so. I don't think he needs to. I don't think he wants to. I think he's had such a strong run as an indie dude. I think no one represents indie wrestling more than this guy, and he's been holding that mantle for so long. The way he talks on Twitch and stuff, it seems like he is making more money than he ever did with the WWE. I'd like to see that person there. It reminds me of I'm trying to think of someone I can even compare it to. Kind of like Adam Cole pre-NXT, like being that indie guy. So no, I don't think so. I mean, as cool as it would be to have him in AEW, I feel like they would do goofy stuff with him in WWE. I don't know. They could have like a Cody-like moment there, but this is someone who turned their career around away from the company and came back. But I just appreciate him as what he is right now.
Yeah, I disagree with you, FREEMZ. We actually have a debate here. I think it's time, how long can he keep up this indie run? He came up with all these great ideas, but sooner or later, you start to become dry. You get stale. And I don't want to see that happen with him. And while he's at his highest, it makes sense to go sign with a major company. Now, I think he would actually be better going back to WWE and more of that, hey, I'm an indie wrestler. Look what I did for myself, and I'm back here now to do my thing. I think he could kind of get lost in the shuffle and
just redo the Cody storyline again. I mean, I have no interest.
The heel side of it. Let him come in as a heel. Don't make him a face. Don't make him be loved. Make him hey, I did this and you cheered me for years, but what did that get me? I had to go out on my own. I don't know. More fun like that to see him do something like that, because I just wonder, eventually will his stock lower where he won't be able to go get that big contract that he could get right now from a company.
Well, the way he talks, he couldn't get more than what he's making right now already, just off of everything else that he does that he would not be able to do had he gone to the WWE.
But indie money is not guaranteed like a contract.
It's not just indie money though.
Yeah, well, all this toys.
I think out of almost, doesn't he have one of the top YouTube channels of any pro wrestler?
I'm sure he does. It's
I
up
would
there.
say,
Yeah, even before he was in the WWE, he had a huge YouTube following.
He just brought it back too, so
yeah, just stuff like that. He has opportunities aside from wrestling that he can make money with that would go away had he gone to unless they could always work something in his contract. I don't see.
Trust me, if he goes
that.
back, he's putting it into his contracts that you're not taking this away from me, or he's not going back.
I get that. I don't think he would, but that's why I don't think he'll go, because I don't think they'll bend for that. But regardless, I mean, he's already he's almost 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If his stock starts dropping a little bit, he'll notice. I'm sure he can sign then, but he's been keeping it going strong this long. It doesn't seem like it's slowing down much.
I wouldn't mind seeing him signing with a major promotion as long as it's not WWE, and that he can still keep up his indie run as well. Because I think with the right major promotion, he can have a great storyline and still continue on with his indie promo, and even have the indie persona as part of the storyline in a major promotion, just not WWE. If he's going to sign with a major promotion, anything but WWE is where I would
even say it almost has to be AEW because of their ties with because what's the point of going to somewhere like Impact where you're barely on TV anyway?
And he was there. He was doing. He was recently there, and I agree with things all of you are saying, and I disagree with things all of you are saying. I think Cardona has completely plateaued on the independents. I don't think I think he's reached a level now. If you think back to that time period, that year around the Nick Gage death match, and how he had the wrestling fan base tuned into everything he was doing. And I think now it's leveled off. I don't feel the heat from it. I don't feel he's doing GCW shows, but there's just no steam behind any of it. It all kind of blends in with the next one. And it doesn't feel like a big deal anymore. It just feels like he's lining his pockets going independent to independent. And I don't know. He's in a spot right now where he's 38 years old. He's had injuries. The dude's had several big injuries. And he's at a crossroads, I think, in my opinion, where if you do the strictly independent thing too long, you kind of have your back against the wall, and you lose those opportunities to go to the big show. I disagree with what Tom said about going to WWE, only because in theory, if Tom could book it, if I could book it, there's a lot of cool things they could do on WWE. Shit ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
They're not going to book him the way that fans of his indie run see him. He can say it all he wants. I don't even think they'd let him come back as Cardona. I truly don't.
Yeah.
I think he'd come back as Zack Ryder because he has that character established in the WWE universe. I would be shocked if he could work that angle where he's just Matt Cardona now, because they would see that as, we don't own that brand. We got to build you. People don't know you as Matt Cardona. They know you as Zack Ryder. I can see that.
Yeah. The universe knows you as Zack Ryder.
Also, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
And not to be an AEW he should go to AEW, because AEW mishandles a bunch of shit too. They could possibly drop the ball, but if he were to go to AEW, one, he could continue doing his podcast the way he wants to do it. He could still keep up a little bit of that cred on the indies and do that. But man, talk about getting a little bit of good faith with some of the more positive, not all of them, but a good fan base of wrestling fans, to attach him to the Collision, put him as in a main storyline on Saturday night's Collision, where he's mainly featured there to drive in some more viewers. They lost Punk. I'm not saying Cardona's a replacement for Punk. I don't think he's on that level, but I think there is a little section of, the major pod fan base that maybe get a little positivity going, especially if they book him in the right way and they book him as a really fun heel. You know, MJF's not a heel anymore. We got Christian, we got a couple others, but it'd be fun to have a fresh heel in Collision. That's what I would go with.
Well, that community too, that community is very, very large, and a very large portion of it watches AEW for the Cap stars, because Brian was involved with the Cap, and
Chris
a lot
Statlander and JF.
Mark Sterling's part of the podcast.
Yep.
So a lot of them watch it just for that. So to have
who needs a wrestler? Who's without a wrestler to manage? Jade just left. Mark Sterling's still under contract. Who's he going to manage?
Yeah.
Have Mark Sterling line up with Cardona and come on to Collision. That could be a fun little storyline, man.
Great. Actually, yeah, I love it.
And what I was going to say earlier too, back to like what he definitely wouldn't be able to be Matt Cardona, because I think WB put in a strict rule after all the indie guys came and left that, all right, we're not letting people use their own names anymore. Secondly, this is like a coming from a fantasy booking kind of thing. But could you imagine? So I don't know if you guys remember when Cardona finally won that Intercontinental Champion, was the same pay-per-view that Bryan Danielson finally won the WWE Heavyweight Championship. That was a big thing. Another cool thing they could do too is the whole like, yeah, after you guys all left to start your AEW club, I kept the fucking indies going. So cool storylines they could throw with both of those.
Just have him be the shit bag, WWE superstar type of guy that he's being on the independents, and bring that in the Collision. He wouldn't have to change a whole lot. Bring Steph DeLander too. They shore her up, have her be his heater, have Sterling be his, be with him like his Harvey Whippleman, and let's go. I would be here for that shit.
That would be pretty awesome, man.
No, I take it back. I think you should go back to WWE and do the woo-woo shit again.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you take him to WWE, he's a heel. He's Matt Cardona. Bring him in big time. Feud him with Cody Rhodes. All of this type of stuff. It would be great. But I just don't think Triple H sees him on the level that the fans that are watching him on the independents see him. He will be,
because he reminds me of Triple H.
He'll be relegated to mid-card hell in WWE. I really just think he'll disappear again.
Mid-Cardona.
Mid-Cardona.
Let's get that straight up there. He'll have it taken down so fast on us if we put.
Oh, yeah. He'll
be over there with Jade.
Yeah.
Just kidding, sorry.
No, I would be all about I just think it's time to make a move off the indies, man. He's ran that road for a while. When did he hit the indies, Tom? What year was it?
During April of the pandemic. They both were, that's when the big releases happened. So I think he waited a year to wrestle until everything started opening up. He wasn't doing the outside shit and everything.
So about 3 years he's been doing almost.
The hottest he was up until he tore his bicep. And then when he came back, he never picked up the momentum as hot as it was. It's still hot. It just wasn't on the level, like you said, as it was before the injury.
And right now, it just seems like he's popping up on NWA. He pops up on him. For him, it's like, yeah, man, you're popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
But for fans, it's like we want to follow you easier. It's too hard to follow.
You're everywhere, man. But be somewhere central where I can follow your storyline.
Yep.
I don't know how to say this without you. I do think you're right. I do think he's plateaued. When you plateau at the top, that's not as bad, but it's still not great. I don't know that him going to AEW will stop his plateau or make him drop or raise. You know what I mean? I don't know how much it raises his stock.
That's a good point. There's been tons of talent that have went to AEW and they've not done shit with them. So, that's a risk he would have to take for sure. But man, let us book Tony.
Dude, it's crazy.
Or Vince.
When he did that short stint in AEW, he had the #1 selling shirt. He broke their record for shirts sold, and he didn't even stay then. They didn't even keep him. So
I think he did 3 matches, 5 matches,
a couple of appearances, like just on TV.
Which we don't know if they didn't want to keep him or if he is like, no, I don't want to sign anywhere right now.
No, he came out and said that they didn't offer him a contract.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy when a guy comes in and breaks the shirt record. You don't offer that guy.
And he had a pay-per-view match. People forget that. He had that tag match.
The tag match.
And a trios match, wasn't it?
Him, Cody, and
I think it was Dustin. I don't think Cody was on the team.
I thought it was Cody.
I know he was on a team with Dustin. It was like a weird match.
It was Dark. They were going against Dark Order. It was when
Yeah.
Cody was feuding with Dark Order.
I don't think. Yeah, you might be right, Tom. I don't think Cody was in on it.
It might have been Dustin.
I'm looking it up right now.
Matt Cardona and Cody tag. You talking about on Dynamite or on the pay-per-view?
Not a pay-per-view. What was the pay-per-view?
Match. Because I want to say Cody was involved in another major match on that one, but Cardona was there to help with the team.
Oh, this was a killer. It was Dustin, Cardona, QT Marshall, and Scorpio Sky. They defeated Cole Cabana, Evil Uno, Mr. Brody Lee, and Stu Grayson.
Okay. Yep.
That was All Out 2020.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
and then he did team with Cody on a Dynamite to beat Alex.
Oh,
Right.
shit. He also did the Jericho Cruise
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah. He has the title right now.
Yeah, he's the Jericho Cruise champion.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anybody have any final thoughts on Matt Cardona before we move on to the next topic?
No.
All right. So we'll move on to our third and final topic of the evening. Should WWE book Rock versus Roman over Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania 40?
So set the stage. We had The Rock on Pat McAfee. He was asked the question. He said he was locked in to face Roman at 39. I guess shit happened. He couldn't get ready in time. That fell apart. But he said he was open for Philadelphia in 40. He put the cheese out there. And now people are wondering, they've been building this. Cody finished the story. All roads lead to 40 and him finally beating Roman. And now Rock's going to slide in. Which match do you book?
I booked both. You have 2 nights. You make this a story. You make it mean something that you need to see both nights. And now you can't decide what night you want to go to because you either get to see Roman versus Cody or Roman versus The Rock. Like, how do you not book this into a story and you have Roman main event both nights? Like, you have to. In my opinion, that's the way to do it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Have a main event both nights. Have Roman Rock night 1.
Well, lay it out, though. You can't just say book both nights. Both of y'all, if you're going to book both nights, you got to lay the booking out. How are they going to achieve this? Because I think there's a lot of ways if you book both nights with both of these matches, it takes the heat out of one of them.
Yeah.
All right,
I guess it wouldn't be okay. And actually, what I would do, is have Roman drop the belt to Cody night 1. I take that back, and I have The Rock come out and confront him about it because of all the Samoan shit. Have them get into a confrontation, and then surprise book it, even though it's already gonna be planned for night 2.
I was gonna say,
They don't need to sell tickets, right? I mean, it's going to sell out either way.
No, yeah, you're right.
I think you do it opposite. I think you have Roman beat The Rock the first night because Rock should not be beating Roman at this point. And then Cody beats Roman, but then Roman can say, I just had a hell of a match last night with The Rock and blame Nat for why he lost night 2.
I don't know, man. I don't know. For me, I have Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 40 and then build for Cody at WrestleMania 41.
That's what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth, Shane.
Yeah, I just don't see him doing a back-to-back. Like, I don't know how you book it to make sense for
both matches suffer.
I think so too.
Both matches suffer if you book them both back-to-back like that. Like, you don't get the heat of it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't.
Because you're already going to have the heat if it's Rock versus Roman. And then, like, that storyline, you have Rock at WrestleMania. That's huge. And then you have Cody still building this story. I think you can build in that year to have another just marquee main event for WrestleMania 41.
It cheapens Roman. Say Roman, if we're building towards a title change and you're doing the book these matches on night 1 and night 2, that would mean you have The Rock versus Roman night 1, which I think it's a night 2 event. But Cody would go and get the title in night 2, which would cheapen Cody's win because Roman had to take on The Rock the night before. Or if you do it where Cody gets the title night 1 and night 2 is all about who's the tribal chief, that loses heat for me because the tribal chief should be the champion. You can't have him go into night 2 against The Rock, which is, let's be honest, as far as star power, that is the bigger match.
Yeah.
You know, the poster of Roman and Rock staring each other down. And we're forgetting something here too. This is WrestleMania 40. This isn't 37. This isn't 42. This is 40. It's one of those, you know,
landmark
1, 10, 20, 30. This is a big one. I'm with you, Sneed. You build this up, you make this all about the tribal chief. You go hard into the family. Rock doesn't have a lot of time, man. You know, you got to pull it when you got it. He headlines 40, Rock versus Roman. Roman beats him.
Yep.
Rock hands over the family to him fully. And then you you bury Cody a little more and make it like, damn, this guy's never going to get it. And you do that at 41. And by that point, Roman heads into 41, breaking Hogan's record, I believe. If you have him hold it that long, he breaks the record, another record, and he's even bigger. When he drops it to Cody, then it's a big, big, big deal. I just don't. Look, Cody's getting screwed over here. We all know it. Like, he deserves it. Cody's in the story. Rock's a part-timer. Everyone's going to argue the, you know, part-time bullshit. Like, this is bullshit. You got a story and you're letting this guy just waltz in here. I get all of that. This is a fucking business. TKO. You think TKO cares about, well, you granted Cody that they care about one of the most recognizable stars in the world being on their poster, and that is The Rock. That poster, Rock staring down Roman, it's an iconic moment. You rarely get those, you know, Rock looking at Hogan at 18. Like, this is one of those moments, man. I feel like you got to do it and you got to push it off to 41. I just question if Cody can sustain another year of not getting that title.
But maybe they put the world championship on him in the meantime.
I feel like, you gotta make him wait. Don't put a belt on him.
You have to bury him so much that he's almost a jobber, and then have him come out of the ashes like a fucking phoenix. Man.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like, don't. I don't want to see him go the Seth Rollins title route. Like, this belt is for him. I do think he should be the guy to beat Roman, but I do think you cannot pass on Rock Roman. You just can't. It's too big.
You could do Cody Roman at SummerSlam, or it has to be Mania.
Fuck that. It's gotta be Mania
too, man.
SummerSlam cheapens it. It's gotta be Mania. You could, but it loses something. You know, when you look at Manias.
Nah, fuck it, man. If you're going to do it at SummerSlam, do it at Fastlane.
Yeah, fuck, no way out. Let's bring back Armageddon and do it there.
Why not? Do it at Hell in a Cell.
They should revamp WCW Sin. Do it there. That's what I want. I want Sin.
That's a dusty pape, ain't it?
In your house, mind games. One of my favorites.
Uncensored, baby. Do it like Dustin and Blacktop Bully in a back of the. Would they have the Blacktop match in the back of the semi?
Yeah.
I mean,
I just full disclosure, I haven't watched WWE since I've watched it probably not even since Cena's been back. So like I'm not like that invested right now, but I get where you guys are coming from of how it cheapens it just from like a booking standpoint.
It's just different because I mean it'd be one thing if this wasn't a 3-year in the making. If this was just Seth Rollins' title, then I'm like, do it. You know, do it whenever. But I feel like.
Have you guys seen the ratings from The Rock's appearance?
Yeah, Tom's gonna be leaving us for the rest of the episode.
Okay.
Go ahead, Freems. What were you saying?
Have you seen the ratings from The Rock's SmackDown appearance?
I did not see the ratings for it. No.
Almost 3 million viewers, which smashes anything they've been doing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's like they're usually at around 400 to 500,000. They were at almost 3 million viewers for that. So you have to do it. It's not so that answers the question. You book Rock versus Roman over Cody versus Roman. I think that's undeniable. I don't know why. You either do that or you do both. I get where you guys are coming from cheapening it. I would just, man, what if Cody gets hurt again by next WrestleMania?
That's the dice you get.
I mean, anything can happen.
There's a gamble with everything.
But the thing about it is if you want to do The Rock, you're not going to you have to do it now. Because I don't think
you have to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think there is I do think at one point, like when this tribal chief thing first started, there was a lot of fans thinking The Rock was the end game, and that kind of went away. And we were like, we don't need The Rock now. Cody's here. I think that's the story. And we kind of forgot about that. And I was one of them, like, we don't need The Rock. But when The Rock comes out and says, hey, I'll do it, then everything changes. You know, I feel like how do you not do one of arguably your biggest star, top 3 as far as impact on, you got Hogan, Stone Cold, and The Rock, in my opinion. One of your top 3 guys wants to main event against your top guy, and he happens to be the guy's cousin.
Yeah.
And this whole storyline's about bloodline and family. I mean, come on, how do you not do it?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think you do Rock at 40, Cody 41. That's where I'm at on it.
It's crazy that Cody will be pushed back 2 years.
I worry about how much interest that match will have a year from now too. But they can always
Cody and Roman, or who are you talking about?
Cody and Roman, because that would be a storyline that they've been trying to hold together for 2 years. That hasn't been. It's been somewhat compelling, especially if you're a fan of Cody. But
if they're smart, if I was booking, I think the way you do it, they did a really nice thing with Cody and Brock. That was almost like a 3-month little program, and somebody was just pictured at the PC. You kind of alluded to it, Sneed. Randy Orton was there.
Yep.
Cody and Randy Orton have wanted to work together. If you would have to push Cody off until 41 to go against Roman, give him a year program with Randy Orton.
I don't think it's as hard as what it sounds like a long time, but I don't think it's as hard as what we think to push for a year and a half.
I don't think so either.
I honestly don't, man, because if you do 3-month programs, you're looking at 4 programs.
Just give him a high level.
He was injured for 6 months. How long was Cody injured?
What was it?
Kind of got to have a second comeback,
6-7 months, something like that.
Yeah, so that kind of helped with that too. So he gets the interest from having a second comeback after that brutal injury.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if he's getting ready, if they played the story where Randy took him out of an opportunity and screwed him, and then they have a 6 to 8 month program.
That's what I was going to say. Doesn't have to be a year program because he's going to have to start feuding with Roman.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, man, I hate it. God, I hate it and I love it that we're in that situation where
it'll be interesting to see what they do.
I mean, you could even push it maybe even to Royal Rumble before 41.
Yeah.
And have some heat going into it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
All right. Anybody have any final thoughts before we move to our round robin?
No.
All right.
Anything for you, Tom? No, Tom's good.
All right. Sweet.
Crickets.
Round robin.
By this time next year, will NXT be beating AEW in the ratings? No.
No.
I'm going to say yes.
Motherfucker.
As much as I don't want him to, I think, you're bringing Becky Lynch down on that show. You got Nick Khan saying he wants to make it a legit third brand.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot more crossing promotionally, and I think that's their goal. And with the might of endeavor behind them, I definitely don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities.
I think it definitely could be.
They came close last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like man, this is open up a whole other can of worms here. This is what I wanted to debate originally, but I didn't want to bring up any CM Punk stuff. I think Collision has gotten worse since he's been gone. I know you guys disagree with that, or the group chat. I think if they can get that back on track,
it's missing something. I mean, he's been gone for like 3 episodes though.
Yeah,
so.
but I could already feel like it just feels like an extension of Dynamite now. Like it feels like
the booking's back. Yeah, the booking's not the same as it was.
Right. That could change though. That could just be something that would have happened regardless. We'll see.
The one thing I like about Collision now though is everyone's free game. I don't feel like people were like you're on Collision and you're on. I like the fact that now anyone can go. I didn't like the soft brand split.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. Well, FREEMZ, it's been good having you back on.
Real quick, ratings don't matter. This is just a question. Yeah. I don't give a shit if NXT's beating AEW in the ratings.
For sure.
Wrestling's wrestling. All wrestling's good. But, some people love talking about the numbers.
Ratings get people talking, I guess. All right. FREEMZ, tell everybody where they can find you.
Find me at twitch.tv/FREEMZ and Twitter at twitter.com/FREEMZTTV. Or
all right.
X.com, whatever you want to call it.
Well, good deal, man. It's been good having you back on, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you. So I'm sure we'll have you back on
definitely,
soon, for sure. All right, guys. That is going to wrap us up for this edition of the Turnbuckle Debate. Make sure you guys are going to theturnbuckletavern.com for all of your tavern needs. Tom had to leave us towards the end.
Broken VCR, Tuesdays, Apple and Spotify. Check me and Hawk out talking about movies.
That you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, Chad, get your shit in. With that being said, court is dismissed.